Okay, so what we are doing now is the endospore staining technique. So this technique is used to see if bacteria is able to produce spores, which can cause disease. So that's a big reason why we do that. And so this bacteria, these endospores, are non-metabolizing forms of bacteria. So endospores, it's their survival mechanism that when they sense a stressful situation, such as high temperatures or lack of nutrients, this is what happens. And they are covered with a layer of material that is impermeable, which makes staining difficult. So we have to use this technique. Steam is also used to help with this. So what we are using today, I will show you on my screen again, which is the stain tray. Sorry. Oh my Lord. Okay, the stain tray, this slide clip, the malachite green stain, which is your main stain, the safranin stain, the steam bath, the water bottle for rinsing, the bibulus paper, the slide box to store the slide in, the stain collection vessel, germicide, paper towels, gloves, the biohazard waste basket. So that is what I would be using in the lab. I do have kind of my pretend stain tray. I do have my pretend bath right here. And again, we're using the heat fixed slide, which I've used from my second video. So we're going to be using that. So first we would prepare myself in my workspace. I would use the aseptic technique, wearing a lab coat, gloves, no holes or anything in my clothes, closed-toed shoes, and disinfect the area with germicide or whatever we have to use for that. So first I would take my heat fixed slide and I would put it on the slide rack over my steam bath. So we're going to set it there. And that would obviously be hot water. We would cover it with bibulus paper and then we would flood it with the malachite green, which again is the primary stain. We would steam the stain for 10 minutes, and we never want to let the bibulus paper dry. So we would add more as we needed to. If it did dry, it would stick to the slide, which would not be good. It would be kind of messy. We wouldn't be able to see it as well. So if you do need more, you keep adding more. And then once that is done, we would set it on, we'd let it cool on our tray over the stain tray, and we would remove the paper. Next we would rinse it with, this is my pretend water, which we're using as our decolorization. So we would rinse it with tap water until the water is clear. We would also be using our slide clip, holding it at the end also. Then we would place the slide on the stain tray face up. The next step is to smear it with or flood it with safranin, which is our counter stain, for 30 to 45 seconds, and let that sit. And then we would rinse that again with water gently under a stream of water into our stain tray. Once that's done, we will use the bibulus paper and blot it. It is also important with this that we take the slide clip off, because if we do have that and we have we're holding the bibulous paper, it could crack. So make sure that you take that off, put the slide in the bibulous paper, and also blot it, not rub it. I think I did say that in one of the other ones, but we blot it because we don't want to rub the color off. So after that, we could either store it in our slide box or look at it under the microscope using oil immersion under 1000 magnification. If there are endospores, they will appear as green objects, and usually they're smaller than the bacterial cells themselves. And they also may be seen inside the cell or outside of the cell. So that is what we would do for endospores. I will be sketching that. And again, we would get rid of this once we were done with it into our biohazard waste container. We would dump all of our staining into our vessel container and disinfect our workspace. Make sure, again, we leave all of our pencils and pens in the lab area, throw gloves out, everything like that. And it's also important to wear eyewear because we don't want to get any chemicals or stains or anything in our eyes. So it's always important to have that as well. So that is it.